HBCU family, as well as the Black Sports Insiders fans. I'm Kyle T. Mosley. I'm here to bring you a special HBCU Legacy Bowl series that we're doing. We have some special guests that will be with us tonight. Mr. Irv Mulligan from the Jackson State Tigers, as well as Rob McDaniel from the Tigers. Those two young men and standouts on the national championship team will join us tonight, and we'll be talking with them one-on-one about their expectations going into the HBC Legacy Bowl week next week. Of course, they have the combine that's going to be on Monday. That's where you have the scouts from all 32 teams. Plus, you'll have some XFL as well as the not USFL. You'll have the CFL, Canadian Football League, as well as some European guys may be there to be able to scout them as well. So it would be great to see how they will fare, but we're going to talk to them one-on-one. First things first, if you guys out on YouTube, go ahead and give us some love with some likes, as well as if you want to comment and have some questions to ask Irv as well as Rob, we will do that with them one-on-one as well. My guest host, Wilton Jackson, will be in shortly. We'll talk with him a little bit about what's going to happen this weekend. But let's talk about this before Irv as well as Rob show up within a few minutes. Look, we're going into the ditch stretch, talking about the MEAC as well as the SWAC. Right now, Southern University, the men's, the Jaguars, they just had their first defeat in conference play against, I believe it was Alabama State, a close one there, but they still remain in control in the SWAC. And on the women's side, shockingly, a lot of people have been surprised how well the Texas Southern Tigers have been faring this season. Man, the Lady Tigers, they have a complete game to them, and every game is a little bit different, and each game has possibly a new leading scorer. If it's not Fan Troy, if it's not Treasure Thompson, is it not Jada Belton? These guys play very well together. And as a whole, I think you like to see what Vernette Skeet has been able to do and put together with those guys. And they're doing it at a high level out there in Houston, Texas. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And we'll talk to Mr. Irv Mulligan in a few minutes. Irv is waiting. So we're going to go ahead and take care of paying some bills first. We'll be back in a few minutes to hear a word from our sponsors. But guys, don't forget, put in your comments, and we'll be back in 2 and 2.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
Something amazing is happening here. The next era of AI has arrived. CDW data engineers are helping organizations harness the power of AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. The power to run workloads faster means greater performance, giving your team a better shot at success. Make amazing happen. CDW.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
I got you something.
You said no gift. We had to get you something.
Thank you, honey.
I got you this.
Did you do this yourself?
Yeah, I had a great teacher.
Happy birthday. I love you. I love you too.
Love you. Thank you.
This is from me
Oh.
to you.
All right, Kyle T. Mosley back here with Black Sports Insiders. And now we're going to bring on the man from Jackson State Tigers. He's the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. If you watched him this season, you saw how he just controlled the line and just made guys look simple. Simon back there on defenses. I told Coach, I said, Coach, in Irv, we trust, and we definitely trusted him as he brought home the Celebration Bowl title as well as the national championship. Mr. Irv Mulligan, how you doing, Irv?
I'm blessed to be here. God bless you.
Oh man, it's great to see you. We missed each other in Radio Row. You going here and there, ripping, running, man. But I know you. Look, man. Hey, you're an important man. I'm just Kyle T. But it's good to see you, man. I've always wanted to have this one-on-one conversation with you because I respect your game. I respect everything that you've been doing ever since you got to Jackson State. You even broke Walter Payton's single season record as a Jackson State Tiger. That is so impressive. But more than that, you have been one of those guys that Coach Taylor was able to count on to be able to make things happen for the Jackson State Tigers. Just talk about your story there with Jackson State.
Yes, sir. It's amazing. I was at Wofford College like 2 years ago, and then I got my degree from there. Then that's what I transferred over to Jackson State, and I already knew like a few guys on the coaching staff. Brandon Morton being one, and he actually a family member. So when I got there, I already felt like home. They took care of me. They took me in, and me and Coach T.C. Taylor, we built like a strong relationship. And you can tell him. I mean, you can ask him. He'll tell you. The first day I met him, I told him, Coach, if I'm on this team and I got anything to do with it, we can get back to that Celebration Bowl. And it's amazing that the things you say out your mouth just can come true and unfold in front of you. So that experience that I got to share with those guys, it's a blessing and amazing.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to what you guys were able to do, it looks like you guys were on a mission all season long, especially last season. I know it was the first season under Coach Taylor, but it just seemed like you guys had that focus, all season. Why was it important for you, especially being a senior, to be able to help T.C. Taylor as well as the team rise to the pinnacle of HBCU football?
Yes, sir. Great question. Well, we had a chip on our shoulder all season coming in. Last year we had a great team that we could have did it last year, but we just felt like we wasn't focused last year. And then we had like a lot of critics and a lot of people said that we was gonna finish like third or last in like the conference. So that was another fire burning thing that was just inside us every day. So every day we went in the facility, we went to practice. Those was things like we reminded ourselves. And we always say if we started in Atlanta, we was gonna finish in Atlanta. It's just this year we didn't start in Atlanta, so we definitely made sure we want to finish. And me being a senior, it's very important. You want to go out that way. You want to go out a champion, but not just a champion, national champion at that. And just to do it with that group of guys is special.
All right. We have Mr. Wilton Jackson. I know you've seen Wilton around Jackson State a lot. We call him Professor Jackson now. Well, Professor, any questions for Irv?
Irv, how's it going, man?
It's going good.
That's good. How's life been going for you since winning the Celebration Bowl? I know everything's probably knee deep in draft prep and things like that. How's life been going for you?
It's been going pretty smooth. I'm still out here training. Same place Walter Payton did it at. So it's still special. Like today we went to the Capitol. We got recognized for the national championship. So we still reaping the benefits from the fruits of our labor. So it's still special to be in the city, be around those guys, and I'm still living in the dream. Like I told somebody today, like it still ain't hit me yet. Maybe when we get those rings, I put it on my finger, yeah, it hit me.
No, absolutely. How's life been different now? Like, I mean, I've always wanted to ask athletes, like, once you win a championship and your tenure in college has come to an end, and obviously in your case, you're prepping for the draft. Like, what's been some of like the biggest adjustments in this process leading to that?
Well, the biggest adjustment is like you see how self-motivated you are, because there's nobody to call you to wake you up. There's nobody to hold you responsible. You got to hold yourself responsible. You got to get up and work out on your own. You got to make sure you know where your feet's supposed to be every day. So that's basically like, I think the hardest thing for guys is getting used to being their own, like annoyed. Like you don't got coach in your ear every day no more. So it's everything really just up to you. For me, it's been still a fun process because, like I said, I'm still around, but I was always self motivated. So I guess the process for me is like a little bit easier. But knowing that you're a champion, kind of leaves like something in your heart like you can hold on to forever. Like like everybody, of course, not gonna be able to make it to the NFL. So just knowing that you was a national champion, that's something real special that nobody can take away from you.
Absolutely. Cal might have asked you this question. This will be my last one because I know he has to continue with the show. But when you had time to think about taking last season in, like, I mean, you had a lot go on with this team as far as like, you not playing every game of the season to coming in and everybody's like, man, Irv Mulligan is killing it every week or what have you. And it's just like, how did you like take the moment to yourself to celebrate and really understand that like we really just won a championship at Jackson State University?
Like I said, I'm still having a hard time soaking it all in. But like I said, coming into the season, I was just ready to make memories with those guys, and I know that I wasn't gonna be the one, to hold the team back, and I wanted to be able to come back and be an asset to the team. So I didn't want to like come in, start off slow. I wanted to be able to make an impact right away. So that was one of my main goals. So it was more of like a will and a want-to thing. So as the mind thinks, so the body. So God blessed me to stay healthy the rest of the season, the whole season, and we just went after it.
Yeah, being healthy really made the difference. You could see in the games when they did not have you compared to when you in the lineup, Jackson State was just a totally different team. But there's always when you look at a championship team, there's some pivotal points in the season. What
Right.
was the pivotal point, in your opinion, for you guys this season?
That's a great question. A lot of people don't know we actually lost a lot of seniors to injury, like close to the middle of the season. So by now we banking on like guys that were third string or second string. Now they got to step up. It's called next man up, and that was the whole thing for us, like the whole season. The next man up. When one guy go down, you gotta be able to fill that gap, and it don't be no fall off. And we practiced that, and we banked ourselves in that so much to where that's how it was for our team. So whether the starter or the best wide or whoever goes down, still got a guy with the same caliber of talent to be able to fill those shoes to keep a championship team.
Yeah, yeah, very good, man. I know now this is an important juncture for you as well, going into this HBCU Legacy Bowl. It's the final All-Star Classic that's on the docket before the NFL draft. You get a chance to be able to meet these scouts as well as these execs and a lot of people who've already descended on New Orleans for the Super Bowl are going to come on back to be able to watch you guys, man. Talk about how that will make you feel going into this game.
Yes, sir. It'll make me feel great. Like I said, it's an honor to be a part of it, but it's honestly just not for me. I'm getting this opportunity to play for like the rest of the HBCU guys and athletes that, put blood, sweat, and tears into, HBCU sports that's not getting the opportunity to play. So for me to be a part of it, just to showcase for those guys is just a blessing. And I also know a couple of, Hall of Famers and things of that nature that poured wisdom and knowledge into me and went on the stumping grounds that I went on. So I just want to give back in that way also.
Yeah. Yeah. One Hall of Famer that comes to my mind is Robert Brazil, right?
Yes, sir. I still talk to him.
Yeah, look, we had a great conversation with him at the Celebration Bowl, but he made it very clear that when he and Walter Payton were at the East-West Shrine Bowl, that was a pivotal moment for both of those guys. He said Walter knew he was going first, but I had no idea I was going to be a first-round draft pick, right? But just those meetings there could really make the difference on how you present yourself and how you are able to, I guess, catch the eye of those decision makers.
Yes, sir.
How have you been working on that? How have you been coaching through that? What has been happening with you to get you to say, I feel comfortable sitting in those rooms and having these one-on-one conversations?
Well, the first thing is you can't do nothing alone in life. You got to have a strong team around you that, care about you, not afraid to criticize you. and you got to be able to take that criticism. So I got a great team here. I got access to a lot of things, a lot of facilities for my health and things of that nature. And I also, not just on the field, it's off the field too. You got to be able to stand up, get on the board, show them your IQ, and be able to break down plays, be able to break down defenses. So I've been really practicing and really toning in on like a whole all around thing with the game, you know.
Well, good, good. Who is your team? Is it Rashida Liberty and Lady Lib?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So they've been coaching you guys up?
Yes, sir. I got my whole team for the women. So, you know, what kind of ideas you want to kind of get people that's, you know, kind of like your mom, you know. Miss Rashida, she be on me like she my mama. So like that's the type of thing I need, like, you know, and she just a blessing. You know, I just love the team. Like they keep me on my toes.
Man, that's good. Look, man, look what Nicole Lynn was able to do for Jalen Hurts.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You know, and Mr. Hurts has a team of ladies that really help him focus and become the Super Bowl champion himself. Have you had any teams to go one-on-one with you already who have showed interest in you?
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, throughout the whole season, you know, I done talked to like all the area scouts and things of that nature. You know, I had a few questionnaires, things like that, but you know, this one of them questions, Miss Rashida probably, you know, get on me about. So I probably won't say too much information. But you know, she kind of just let me train and things, so she don't tell me too much information. She just tell me like, you know, what teams are interested or what teams ask her, you know, certain questions and things of that nature. So
okay,
that's about it.
All right, good political. You handled that very well. All right, Will.
So, Irv, I have a question for you, man. You said that you've been kind of working on things to better yourself for the next level. What some of those things that you've been working on, number one, and then also number two, what do you hope to get the most out of in participating in the HBCU Legacy Bowl?
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things I was working on, you know, just for the next level period is like you want to be an all-around back. Like you got to find things to separate yourself. Like this is the time where everybody's good, everybody's talented. So what can you bring to a team that separates you to elevate that team? So that's the thing that I was focusing on. I was studying guys in the league. I was studying all the teams. I was seeing all the running backs on those teams. And I see what asset they bring to those teams. And I'm trying to see what different can I do that those guys don't do. So that's something that, you know, I was working on. And two, like I said, the HBCU Legacy Bowl is just like a blessing. Like it wasn't always there. So for guys like, you know, me and like I said, the other guys that couldn't participate in it, it's an honor for me to go out there and showcase my skills and put on for all HBCU athletes.
When you look at some of the NFL running backs now, obviously the typical NFL running back has changed. What do you notice about a lot of those running backs as you're looking and studying them? And who is one running back that really stands out to you the most that you can appreciate what they do?
Well, I don't want to be, you know, the elephant in the room, but of course Saquon Barkley, you know, he's a Super Bowl champ. He's been killing it all season. That's the type of season, you know, I felt like I had like this season, like came back every game I was help my team win. And he's such an unselfish guy. Like if you watch his interviews, his sideline, like, you know, like when he's out not on the field, he'll tell you like he's leading by example for the younger guys and the guys around him and for his team. Like, you know, you just see the unselfishness in them. You can see how he's reliable in the passing game, in the blocking game, and also the running game. So he's an all-around guy for a team like that. And, you know, that's one of my current idols, other than one thing, you know, what's all-around idol. But my current idol is Saquon right now.
That's not a bad idol.
Not a bad idol one bit, man.
Or Chris McCaffrey. That's a long story.
Look, I watched the game as well, and I covered a guy down in New Orleans. His name is, I guess, Alvin Kamara. You kind of had some of the slippiness of Alvin Kamara, and one thing also about you have great balance. Is that something you've worked on in special training with your performance coaches?
Well, I mean, explosion and balance is always something you should work on as a running back. And like I said, one tip I always got from Walter Payton is he said to stand on one foot and close your eyes. And if you're shaking, there's something wrong with your balance. So that's something I always do like every day. To stand on one foot and close my eyes just to get that balance. And Like my lower body, I always was lower body dominant. So it's like if you hit me lower body, that's why I know everybody coming at you will hit a tree trunk, and I want you to bounce off of me. So that was always my biggest thing was having a strong lower body so I could bounce off of tackles and keep it going. So I mean, it's a natural thing, but it's something that I really bank on like the most is being explosive down low.
Okay. A lot of running backs now, like you see Barkley, what's understated about his game is how well he catches the ball out of the backfield. And I noticed you had several plays that was designed for you at Jackson State. Talk about that element of your game.
Yes, sir. It's crazy because I feel like, that's one of the things scouts definitely want to see. And that's one thing that will separate you from a lot of backs because there's not too many backs you see catching the ball fluently out the backfield. So those plays that were designed, it was designed for me because they knew I could catch it. So when you see me going down the seam, the ball is typically, designed to come to me. But, certain reads and certain changes, like, other teams have their own, opinion and their own things that, stop the play. But like swing plays, check downs, that's very important. I was always in the check down game. If the quarterback needed me, I was okay being the last option. But if the ball was thrown to me, I will catch it. But like I said, the seam plays, we had a couple wheel routes. If it was thrown to me, I will catch it. So I displayed a few of that on film, but we relied so heavily on the run game, I really didn't have to get in the passing game so much. So that's something I am looking forward to, like in the next level.
Okay. Last technical question from me, man. I know as a running back, the ones who make the boatload of money are the guys who don't want to get off the field because they could be great in running, they could be great in the pass game, but they also have to be great in blocking. Talk about your blocking.
Yes, sir. If you ask my teammates, they will tell you how I absolutely love blocking. I love blocking so much. It's so easy blocking for the quarterback. It's easy seeing a cat or a cowboy come from the outside, and if you let a cat or a cowboy blow you up, then something wrong. So that's easy to see. Then linebackers, that's easy. You got a 5-man box. You just gotta make sure you get your responsibility. So that protecting the quarterback, that's critical for me because that's the leader of the offense. You know what I'm saying? So if he's not comfortable or protected in the pocket, then how are we supposed to win? And like they say, the quarterback is he's the leader of the team. So if you're not able to block, then you kind of in trouble.
Got you. Well,
Irv, I only have one other question, man. Beyond just the technical things and the preparation for the draft, the next biggest thing is always, nutrition when it comes to players getting ready to take that step to the next level. What has, if anything, has changed in terms of your nutrition preparing for the next level? Are you looking to put on a little bit more muscle, or what's that process been looking like?
That's a great question. I think that's a great question. I'm glad you asked because a lot of people don't know, like during this process, I'm in college and like high school, you could kind of have like a raccoon stomach. You could kind of eat anything and, eat anything and the next day you'll be fine. But for this kind of process, it's so critical what you put into your body. So no fried food. Me coming from, down south, it's kind of hard because we eat fried food. So no fried food. The vitamins that you can take that are legal, like more protein, more, just a certain type of food, like more meal prepping. Instead of fried chicken, baked chicken. Instead of fried fish, baked fish. More greens, more fruits. Like you gotta cut your meals down. You gotta weigh in every day. You gotta drink a certain amount of water. So, man, it's a lot. That alone is a job alone.
Yeah. Is it a certain weight that you're trying to meet, or you just making sure that you're ensuring that you're putting everything in your body in the correct way?
Both. But like the most critical part is like your testing and like your measurements. So you want to be able to stay at a certain way you're comfortable moving at, and you'll get good times and measurements. So I've been staying around between 205 to 210. So I'm feeling good. I'll be honest. Like right now, I'm like 206. So and I feel great. But it's just different because you see the difference in your body. Like I don't have a stomach no more. Like it's cut. I actually see abs now. So I think I'm doing something right.
Yeah, no, you are, man. You are.
Look, you had abs before, man. Come on. Now, me, you have a keg. You have abs, I have a keg. All right, come on, man. I've seen you up close. So, all right. But look, Irv, I talked to Doug Williams a few months ago, and Doug said when it comes to this process, strength is something that has been kind of missing from some of our HBCU guys when it comes to the bench pressing and other type of strength related drills they're going to put you through. Have you focused on that as well?
Oh yes, absolutely. Like I said, I'm a smart guy, so what I'll do is I'll go look at the combine stats from last year, and when I do like my mock pro days from week in and week out, I see where I'm at. Like, so if this guy benched 18 or 15, I try to beat that. Or if this guy did like a 4-1, I'm gonna try to get a 3-9. Like, so it's just like you got to see who did it before you and where they are now, and it's like a blueprint. You just follow it. So I mean, I wasn't too much stressing on it, but I know what needs to be done. And like I said, I'm just trying to beat all the stereotypes. And I feel like I'm one of those guys that joined the HBCU community, but can, show talent elsewhere. And I'm just leave this one quick point. I know it's a little broad, but like Travis Hunter said, he started at Jackson State, or he finished in Colorado, and he's the Heisman winner. So that's all the proof you need right there.
Yeah. I love it because he said that this past week, he considers himself the Jackson State Heisman Trophy winner.
Right.
Yeah. Well, look, Irv, you're going to be in New Orleans. That's my hometown. Okay. Watch the food. Watch the women. But most of all, man, just have fun with this whole process. Enjoy. You will have an opportunity, of course, if you haven't already done so, to meet Doug Williams, James Shaq Harris, Mel Blount, and many, many other Hall of Famers that are going to be there to support you guys through this whole process. Pick their brains as much as you can, man. And I'm telling you, you're going to leave there with a wealth of knowledge and wealth of respect to where you are at this particular time in your career.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I want them to know I'm definitely bringing my wisdom book.
Look, have you kind of worked with Miss Liberty on any special things that you want to be able to take away from this whole experience that you're about to embark on?
I wouldn't say worked on, but it's definitely experience. I'm definitely looking forward to it because also, a lot of people focus on like the football side, but there's a lot of great things and the great events going on around the HBCU Legacy Bowl, like the career fair. So that's another thing that I'm very excited to get clean for, get nice and handsome for, and, go showcase my talents outside the field. So that's one thing I am looking forward to, and we was like working on and talking about.
Yeah, look, over 100 employers were there last year. And I know firsthand from talking to people at Allstate as well as a couple other companies, they made offers to people on the spot.
Wow.
That's unheard of. In a lot of these career fairs, you never hear from anybody, but people were able to walk away with jobs. And I know they have a number of NFL teams that are going to be there as well. So I wish you luck, man. I'll see you at the All-Star event, and I know you're going to be doing great. But Irv, any last comments, any last thoughts?
Yes, sir. I just want to say it's an honor and a pleasure to be, for you to interview me and for you to, take your time out to tell me, about me. You paid attention to me, and like I said, I just want to say thank you. I'll see you in New Orleans.
Oh man, look. Again, I think the world of you. I think you are a star in the making. And like I told you earlier, I told Coach Taylor, and I'm telling everybody, in Irv, we trust. He will be a part of the NFL scene. If it's not NFL, it's going to be some professional league, but you will see him at a high level. That's Mr. Irv Mulligan from Jackson State University. Irv, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Irv. All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to have Mr. McDaniel in here within a few minutes. But let's kind of pay some bills, man, and we'll be back in 2 and 2, okay?
So I trust everyone's read the prospectus. Lance, why don't you take us through it?
Let's get into the prospectus.
Okay.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Pay $0 when you file by 2/18. All tax forms, all 100% free. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it yourself.
To the inconsiderate monster who has been stealing my pudding, I hope your conscience eats at you as you have eaten my pudding. Bring my pudding back. I wish you the worst, Dale.
Beautiful words. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Now Taxes is getting the TurboTax app and filing your taxes yourself 100% free if you didn't file with us last year. Now this is taxes. File free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it yourself.
Okay, Kyle T. Mosley with Mr. Wilton, Professor Wilton Jackson. Now, I can't call you.
You can call me Wilton, man. You know it ain't.
I can't call you Wilton anymore. It's Professor Jackson.
No, man, it's just Wilton, man. Wilton all day, every day, twice on Sunday.
I hear you, man. Guys, if you don't know, Wilton is one of the best basketball minds out there as far as sports writers are concerned. Highly think of what he has been able to accomplish. Wilt, I know you've been covering SEC some this season, but the SWAC and the MEAC, there's been some interesting races, man. I kind of touched on it at the beginning of the program, but how surprised are you to see what's happening with the Texas Southern women?
Oh, very much surprised. Like, this is not a team, being fully transparent, did not think that they would be sitting at the top of the SWAC when the season started. I'd be lying to you if I told you. If I was a gambling man, I lost all my money if I would have said that Texas Southern was going to be at the top. But more than anything, the work that Coach Skeet is doing at Texas Southern, having that team playing, clicking on all cylinders, and to think they still have room to grow, right? I mean, they're undefeated in the SWAC. Still, obviously, about roughly 3.5 weeks left until the end of the season, and they look great. And with the way, and the thing is, they look great, but although still having some other teams right behind them. Of course, you have Jackson State that's on their heels. You have a Southern team that's also still playing well. But right now, arguably on the women's side, like, they are truly the team to beat. And then we'll go ahead.
No. And I was just thinking, because talking with her, I recall last season when we had a little conversation at one of the games. She was talking about, she felt this was the season she was going to see what she really had in the Lady Tigers. And I know they made some changes. They had some transfers to come in, like Fan Troy, that really has made a huge difference. Huge difference. She kind of reminds me of the young lady that played at Jackson State for the past couple of years. Remember, she was slim and she would make all the shots from outside when
talking about Tilly Bowler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She reminds me of her, man. So
no, she's in Memphis now.
I know. Yeah. I was surprised she didn't go with Coach Reed.
Me too. I thought that was a sure foot in for her to go to Charlotte, but she's balling out at Memphis.
Yeah. Well, good to hear. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Coach Reed beat Memphis?
Did they beat Memphis this year? I don't know if they beat Memphis this year.
I thought they beat them earlier this season.
I have to go back and look and see.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's we will talk a little bit more about basketball and the SWAC and the MEAC when we get through this individual. Man, he was one of my favorite interviews over at the Celebration Bowl. Very, very interesting young prospect going into the National Football League's cycle. He's going to be at the HBCU Legacy Bowl with Irv Mulligan, and he's also from Jackson State. That's Mr. Rob McDaniel. What's going on, Rob?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good to see you again, man.
Oh, yeah, great to see you too.
Good. How's everything going with your preparation for the Legacy Bowl?
Oh, preparation is going pretty well. Honestly, just focusing on keeping my body healthy, getting in the best shape that I can get in. Working on proper nutrition, strengthening my body, mobility, just all these different types of things just to help me get ready for the Legacy Bowl coming up when I leave this Saturday. All
right. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Trying to get us straight here. All right. So talk to me about what's happening. When do you arrive in New Orleans? What's the process like?
Right now, honestly, just the process is just getting there. They got my flight for leaving here around about like 6 o'clock in the morning. I should get there around 9ish. And all this going to just be just, getting test measurements, just clocking in with them just to get ready going into the coming week.
Okay. All right. Now, do you feel as though this whole process has been kind of something you expected or something that is like, oh, man, this is just mundane and I can't understand what's going on? What's happening?
Honestly, it's really just probably what I have. So it's a lot of just, handling business, trying to prepare myself the best way that I can. And, just to get the ball rolling, going into this professional life, trying to get to the next level.
Okay, excellent. Will?
Hey, Rob, how's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. So I have one of my questions for you is like, there's always a transitionary period from going from college to preparation for the NFL. What do you think has been the most interesting or the biggest adjustment that you've had to make in preparation for potentially, hearing your name called within the NFL draft?
A lot of preparation has just been trying to get mentally focused. That's the biggest thing, coming into this league and this next step into my life. It's something I never expected to come so quick, but lo and behold, I am in this position. So now it's just about, going in with a fixed mindset, knowing just to continue to be myself and never change who I am. And honestly, just trying to make my name show for itself.
Absolutely. And so obviously a lot of people have looked at obviously seen your tape by this point. There's a lot of flexibility that you have being able to play, multiple positions in the defense. How would you say that has really, really helped you so far in terms of maybe certain things you've heard from different teams looking at you?
Honestly, really just playing different positions. It helped me, I guess, just get a better aspect of, knowing the defense, knowing where you should fit it, come playing at the corner, nickel or safety. It's just showing, honestly, how versatile I am, being able to put me in different positions, knowing that I have value, being able to show that, really just honestly being able to fit in any type of system that you put me in. I'm a very fast learner, and that's honestly what's just been, one of definitely my strengths, being able to be versatile.
Then one other follow-up before Kyle gets back with you. How much do you feel that Jackson State prepared you for this moment?
They definitely have prepared me mentally and physically, especially with one of my mentors being my position coach, Lorenzo Quinn, him just being able to invest in me not only in the film room and on the field, but off the field as well as helped me become the man I am today.
Awesome. Look, man, you're disruptive in the game. Your physicality is something that offenses didn't want to see. But also your ability to be able to, like you say, pick up and kind of read what the situation. You have great instincts. That's all I've heard from the scouts recently about who you are. Tell the people who you are and where you're from. We want to know where Rob's from. Who is Rob?
Oh, well, a little bit about Rob. Hometown kid from Jackson, Mississippi. Proud father, a man of faith. Honestly, just a chill guy. One of the most hardworking people you're gonna meet. My work ethic speaks for itself. My game speaks for itself. But honestly, I'm just just a person just trying to show you that no matter where you're from, you can make it from anywhere. And I'm just trying to lead my legacy here at Jack State, and just making a name for myself.
Now, how is it being a father and knowing you're about to go through this process that could be life-changing and impact your kid from now on when you get a chance to be able to go and play for a professional league?
Oh, honestly, it's really just a big blessing just to be able to, honestly get to this point, and being able to hopefully come into a situation where I am able to take care of my responsibilities even better. Is just, this just give me another reason to go harder, because I do have a little one looking up to me, and just as though, I came up, I don't want to let him down. So I'm just continue to just push hard for him.
Okay. All right. Is his name Rob as well?
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay. All right. Now, talk about, and I asked this question to Irv, and let's go back into the season. What was it about this season that made you guys special, the Tigers as a whole?
Most definitely, I would definitely just have to say the unity and camaraderie around just everybody, even with the coaches, the equipment staff, the training staff. It's like the togetherness was just something that definitely was a big factor in us just making it as far. You can go talk to anybody on the team, offense line, go talk to a defense player, go talk to an offense player, and it'll feel as though, nothing has changed. You can always be able to communicate with anybody. And, honestly, just having that positive culture around the locker room is, definitely just something that helped us strive to how we, to where we got to, and, ending off with a national championship. That's definitely the best way to go out.
Yeah. Was there any pivotal moments in the season, in your opinion, that really got you guys over the hump, headed to that championship?
Most definitely, I would say it had to be Grambling State University. Coming off that loss, there was definitely a lesson for all of us. The adversity that struck us during that game, but all we had to continue to do was just keep our head down to, continue to go to where we was heading to.
All right. Now, when it comes to you, I know you had stints at the junior college as well as Alcorn, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about you going through everything to get to Jackson State and now going through this draft process? What keeps you grounded? What keeps you focused?
Most definitely, it would just have to be, honestly, just my work ethic. Being in just different situations, being just having to adapt to your circumstance. Because I always heard that 90% of your life is 90% of the things that is in your life is out of your control, but it's that other 10% of how you respond that just makes you who you are. That's what I've been doing this whole time, is just taking the best things out of my situations to just honestly make the most out of, and continue to just stay positive in everything that I do.
Okay. All right. Good. Man, before the game for the Celebration Bowl, when I met you on Radio Row, you were very in your element. You had a lot of confidence, a lot of swag there. But it's rightly so, and it showed up on the field, right? Do you feel as confident going into this venture when you get to have the NFL scouts as well as the execs to be able to meet you at the combine first and going into the Legacy Bowl the following Saturday?
Most definitely. I'm just, I know that I was, how I see is this. See this is just an opportunity to be able to showcase what I can do, and given the opportunity, I'm just going to take full advantage of it. continue to show what I can do on the field as well as off the field.
Okay, Will?
Rob, when you start talking about preparing for the HBCU Combine and the HBCU Legacy Bowl, what do you want to be one of your biggest takeaways from that? What do you hope to gain from this experience the most?
I most definitely just have to just say the connections. You never know who you're going to meet and who you're going to talk to. Being able to have those connections and being able to meet just these different people from everywhere is just one of the biggest things I definitely want to take from this.
You mentioned that Coach Quinn is essentially one of your biggest mentors. What are some of the things that he's maybe like shared with you in preparation for this process? Obviously, he's a great defensive coordinator at Jackson State, has a long track record of having success on the defensive side of the ball. What's some of the things he's kind of gave you as some little nuggets of advice as you prepare for this process?
Honestly, just continue to stay myself. Of course, he's strengthening my IQ on the field, but it's just taking those little life advice he's giving me, giving the little life advices he's giving me, taking it with a grain of salt, knowing that, you're going to come into this profession. You got to continue to stay positive in everything you do and control your situation.
Good. Now, you get an opportunity to meet some legends, some HBCU legends like Doug Williams, James Shack Harris, Mel Blount, Art Shell may be there as well as many others that have left a long legacy in HBCU football. But also you'll get to see some Pro Football Hall of Famers, and as well as there's a possibility Patrick Mahomes may show up, as well as Jameis Winston, because those guys help to support this game. Talk about how important is that for you to be able to get a chance to see some guys who are currently a part of the game, as well as the guys who were a part of the game, to kind of give you an idea of what to expect from your game.
Most definitely, just being able to see the love and the sponsorship that these guys are showing just goes to show you that they do want to invest in HBCU players, and just the legacy of it all, having all these different type of pros and legends of the game that just come in, just goes to show that, hey, this is the biggest blessing that can be and the biggest opportunity to just showcase what you can do. And I'm just going to continue to use the opportunity to do so.
Who do you model your game after?
It will most definitely have to be Kyle Hamilton. You don't really just find too many DBs that's long, tall, and fast. They can be able to move side to side, vertical, being able to put them in different positions, though, seeing as though he can do a little bit of all in any type of defense you put him in. That's definitely why I try to model my game after.
Oh, that's a good guy to model your game after, man. He's a banger as well. Do you feel as though right now strength and conditioning, you're where you want to be, or is there more that you want to learn, or what?
I honestly say you can always continue to get better. That's what one of my models is. Just get 1% better every day, no matter what it is. But being at this performance facility in Nashville, working, just being under the proper nutrition, proper strength and conditioning, as though, I feel as though I'm in the best shape of my life right now, being able to, just go out here and show what I can really do.
Okay, Will?
Rob, being an HBCU player, obviously there have been a very select handful that have gotten opportunities at the next level. When you look at those that have gotten the opportunity to play at the next level, specifically the NFL, what stands out about them to you, and what do you hope to make stand out about yourself in this process as you try to do what they have done by making it to the NFL?
I can definitely say the pedigree of just these players are just unmatched. Like, I already come from a small school. It doesn't matter where you come from. Having guys like Shannon Sharp out of Savannah State, Jerry Rice out of Mississippi Valley, Walter Payne, Robert Brazil come from Jackson State. These guys paving the way to show you that legends don't always often start from big schools. They come from these small schools, and that's something where I'm definitely trying to do is leave my impact and show. Definitely trying to show that I can make a difference on anybody's roster, and also potentially, make my name known in the NFL.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to see that, man. And I like what you've been able to do. You have a great personality. You're great, have great charisma as well, man. Let's talk about this off the field. When it comes to what you like to do with your family or just by yourself, what's your hobbies?
One of my hobbies is honestly, I love being outside. So going with my grandma, I love to fish. I love, definitely, definitely, just go toss a rod in the water. There's, something that really just gives me a peace of mind and calmness. I love animals. I have a dog. His name is Cass. I love being around him. I can't wait to get back to him after it's all said and done. And also really just continue to just pray, giving all the glory to God, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be in this position without him. So continue to give him my time and praise. It's definitely just something that, continue to give me a peace of mind as well.
Okay. Here's the last question, man. And if an NFL scout, Zach, is listening to this at this time, what do you want them to know about Rob McDaniel?
Oh, Rob McDaniel, he's a winner, a champion. The work ethic is unmatched. You're going to get somebody that's very coachable, that's willing to learn, a student of the game, that's going to continue to stay positive, bring up his teammates around him, and just continue to just impact not only just the team is not only just the team on the field, but the team off the field as well.
Okay. Before I go, Will, did you have one last question for Rob?
I think you got all the questions, Kyle. I'm just gonna tell the man good luck as he continues to prepare for the process and navigate this process.
Yeah, definitely. Look, Rob, I hope to see you down there in New Orleans. And like when I first met you, I was very impressed with your ability to articulate who you are and what you want. And hopefully that comes across very strongly to those NFL scouts to be able to make the decision makers know that Rob McDaniel is ready for the National Football League.
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. That's Mr. Rob McDaniel of Jackson State,
the
national champions. All right, man. Rob, you take it easy, Doc.
All right, you too. I appreciate y'all for having me on here.
You're welcome, man. Anytime, okay?
All
right. That's Rob McDaniel. I'm Kyle T. Mosley. That's Mr. Wilton Jackson. Well, Rob and Irv, you watch these guys over their careers, man, at Jackson State. Talk a little bit about what you see in both.
Oh, man. When I look at Irv Mulligan, you're talking about a running back that can literally do a little bit of it all. Not afraid of anybody. Will run you over if you're in his way. Plays with a different level of tenacity. You saw it all season. I think that if given the opportunity to be on anybody's team in the NFL, whether if it's obviously maybe not necessarily a starting position, but getting playing time on the field, that's somebody that's going to absolutely make the best of their opportunity. It doesn't matter what it is. He's going to do that. Rob McDaniel, my gosh, if you like a person that has the flexibility to play multiple positions and play them well, it's not often that you get a chance to see somebody that can play safety, but then also be able to come down and make those tackles almost as like a smaller version of a linebacker, or also be able to play in coverage. Like I saw that firsthand, especially in some of those latter games of the season where he was just like in multiple positions. And I think that if you're an NFL GM and you're looking to see, and really taking the time to dissect talent, everybody can't do that. Now, granted, it's a lot. There are other players who can do it, but I think if you look at that and really look at, his measurables, his size, how he stacks up, I think that he has a good opportunity to potentially play at the next level as well. So, again, you saw it all between the both of them. You saw the success they had at Jackson State, and I definitely think they have opportunities to be able to play at the next level.
Yeah. Great guys, intelligent guys, great personalities. I remember I asked Coach Taylor, what do you think about Irv Mulligan? He's a pro. That's what he said. First thing, he's a pro.
that sounds very much like what he told me as well. Like, I mean, it's just with certain players, you can almost see, and granted, you're looking at it from a distance until you actually get a chance to know them, but certain players carry themselves like professionals. That's Irv Mulligan. Like the way you carry yourself on the field as well as the way you carry yourself off the field. You're talking about a guy that, off the field is handling business, doing what he needs to do. But then also on the field, I mean, he's a monster. Like, again, if I'm a linebacker or even a safety or a defensive back, I'm not really in a rush to come tackle this man, because
business decisions, right?
Exactly, right? And if you're Rob McDaniel, like I've also heard, Coach Taylor talk about somebody with such a hard work ethic, which is what he mentioned in the conversation with us. So between his work ethic and again, that flexibility to be able to play multiple positions, I think is really, really, really going to help him, especially in the NFL where you have to have that flexibility.
Yeah. Mr. Cedric Walker says Rob McDaniels reminds him of Sean Taylor. Man, that's a high compliment there.
Oh, yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, he will be an all-pro. All we need to have Irv in Chicago and bear down.
Man, Walter Payton would be turning over his grave happy if that happened.
Wouldn't that be great, man?
Yeah,
him following up Walter Payton and bringing home a championship to the Windy City. That would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing about these two young men. I know remember we had Doug on, and Doug talked about the opportunity to expose these young men to the National Football League, the Pro Scouts. Are going to be some CFL guys and other leagues as well.
Right.
Why is this game so important for many young men? Some of them, I remember in the past, they kind of took it for granted. Mm-hmm. But why do you think this game, the HBCU Legacy Bowl, is so important?
Well, you know what, Kyle? It's really simple. A lot of these players don't get a chance to go to the NFL Combine. The NFL Combine, the big one in Indianapolis.
Yeah, in Indy, yes.
They should get a chance to showcase their talents there, but they don't get a chance to. And we obviously we know why. So having the opportunity to showcase your talents at a place like the HBCU Combine, and also being able to showcase what you're able to do, what you've learned throughout the week, during going through different drills and techniques that essentially that you would be running in a pro style type of offense, or just preparing for the preparation of the NFL. It allows you to get that exposure that you need, that other GMs and other just scouts from different teams can see what you can truly do. And to your point of really taking advantage of that opportunity, you don't get this opportunity in most other cases in other places. Of course, if you're eligible to get invited to the Senior Bowl, right? Of course, you have the East-West Shrine Bowl, but every player, a good majority of players don't get that opportunity, don't get those opportunities to do that. So this might be that one big opportunity for you to say, you know what? My name's Irv Mulligan. My name's Robert McDaniel. I made my case for why I feel like I deserve to be in the NFL at this place. And you have to think that, Doug Williams and Shaq Harris, this is what they designed this for. Yeah. This is what they wanted. They want to be able to look back and say, you know what? That player that came in, he might have came in as like undersized, or he wasn't prepared, or not necessarily not prepared, but he wasn't the prototypical size of whatever position it's supposed to be, but yet they end up going on to have a really, really good NFL career and actually made it on a team, not just the practice squad, but actually had substantial playing time on a team. And that's all that you can ask for. And that those same players that get those opportunities carry themselves as good quality young men off the field as well. And I think that's what they're trying to do. And I hope that the players that are invited to this year's HBCU Legacy Bowl take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Rashida Liberty, thank you so much for being able to schedule the interviews with Irv as well as Rob. If you guys don't know her, she is the sports agent that represented the past two HBCU Legacy Bowls MVPs, Xavier Smith and Davius Richard. Wow. So I anticipate big things from Irv as well as Rob when it comes to the Legacy Bowl next Saturday. All right. And before we get off the line, let's talk a little bit more about what's happening in the SWAC basketball on the men's side. Yeah. Southern University is at the top, and you got Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Florida A&M is rising.
Yeah, Bethune-Cookman too.
As well, Reggie Theisen has those guys doing something.
Bethune-Cookman has really been a big surprise because I got a chance to watch them up close in person when they played Jackson State at home. And that was a game that Jackson State won, but they gave up a big lead because Bethune-Cookman made a big comeback, but just couldn't get the win. That's a really good, talented team in Bethune-Cookman. And to your point, no surprise with Reggie Theis at head coach. So it's going to be a tight race going down the stretch. And I think that when you look at Southern, obviously is the top of the SWAC men's side. You know, none of their scorers are averaging more than double figures or something like that. And it's like they just play a really good brand of basketball where they share the basketball. And it's going to be hard to beat them. I mean, obviously there have been teams that come close when they've had their first loss, obviously to Alabama State. But, you know, Jack State almost beat them. But that's a really good team. And I think that, you know, the only thing that I put on Southern right now is that we've seen them do this before. Will they make it to the end to get that tournament bid, that automatic qualifying bid into the tournament? But I guarantee you it won't be easy, because as long as there's a Texas Southern University, Texas Southern will be around. Of course, Jackson State will be around. I feel like they have the talent to get them there. It's just a matter of getting over the hump. That was also a Jackson State team last year that was limited with players in certain cases. So it's going to be interesting to see between Southern, Texas Southern, Jackson State, Bethune-Cookman, even Alabama State. You know, that's a team that, again, I've been kind of talking about a little bit. I love the play that I love the way that they have their guards, how their guards play. Have a lot of athleticism, a lot of length. So another team to just kind of watch out for on the men's side. A
lot of parity, and you like to see that, especially going into the home stretch right now.
Right.
And Vernette Skeet, she said to me, I think it was after a couple of games ago, she said, it doesn't matter if we are undefeated. If we can't win in the tournament, it means absolutely nothing.
No, but that's real,
right?
though. They could go undefeated, win the regular season championship. They'll still have a championship, but the big one, the one that matters, where you get a chance to place that sticker and say, "Hey, I'm going into March Madness. I'm going dancing." That's what she wants, and that's what any team wants coming out of the SWAC or any other HBCU conference, specifically SWAC and MEAC.
Yeah, let's turn our attention to the MEAC right quick. Diamond Johnson, she just was named a semifinalist for the Becky Hammond Award for the mid-majors, right?
Yep.
And it's so interesting because the day before I wrote an article about Diamond Johnson and her play, how she is a legitimate WNBA prospect.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about her a little bit.
Oh, man. Like, for those that don't know Diamond Johnson and haven't paid attention to her before this year and or last year, Diamond Johnson is a bucket. Like, this is a player that, you know, she's on the amongst the HBCU ranks now, but she has very much, you know, Division I experience from her time on the D1 level, but she can score. She can facilitate. I mean, certain shots that I've seen her make, I was thinking to myself, like, because she's like what, 5'6", 5'7",
5'5".
Yeah.
5'5".
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. 5'7" might be a stretch, but this is a person that can create shots for herself. Obviously, be able to distribute the ball to her teammates, and she go like Norfolk State goes as Diamond Johnson goes. And again, if you've seen her from her days on the D1 level, at the Power 5 level, versus where she is now in Norfolk State, there hasn't been a drop off in her game. If anything, she's become more creative and more of a superb facilitator for Norfolk State.
Yeah, definitely. Man, we got to get an opportunity. I know both of these leagues want to get into the tournament as well as make their mark in the tournament, as well as just not winning 1 or 2 games, going 3 and 4, whatever. Right? But we got to get a chance to be able to have a MEAC versus SWAC clash. And right now, if you look at what Norfolk State, Howard is doing over there in the MEAC, you got to look at what Southern as well as Texas Southern and these other teams on the ladies' side are doing as well. I think that'll be a very interesting dynamic to be able to have in the postseason, just to have that fun type of exhibition to go on, man. So, you know, Will, you have the money, so we're going to ask you to put up the money to fund this whole thing.
No, I don't got. I'm out here trying to grind and get every penny I got, man. I'm broke.
Okay, man. All right, guys, we are going to wrap up the show. Any last thoughts? Any other HBCU sports nuggets that we need to talk about?
Man, you know what, Cal? We thought HBCU football season, and it's not even football season, right? We're very much knee deep in basketball, but because we're talking about football, if we thought last season was exciting, this season is going to be amazing. even better, because I mean, of course, we know the new coaches in the MEAC side of things, new coaches on the SWAC side, of course, more of the high profile former NFL players on the MEAC side, but you have some really, really, really great coaches coming into the SWAC. Obviously, Sam Shade at Alabama A&M. I'm really intrigued to see what he's going to do with the Bulldogs up in Huntsville. And then, of course, down at Prairie View as well. What would that resurrection look like for the Panthers? Because from every person that I know that's a Prairie View alum or a current Prairie View student, they are excited.
Man, if you've seen some of these videos of Coach Jackson and his staff getting these guys ready, I think there was a video of the running back, Mr. McDowell. He was talking, he was in the weight room with those guys, and they've been out on the practice field. They've been showing their wares already. They even haven't even gone into spring practice yet.
Right.
I like what I've seen. I like what I see. It's a different tone, different culture out there. And then you look at what Texas Southern, they just unveiled their schedule. They're going out to California. Right. Other than that, they have, and I like what Coach Dishman said, they have a well-balanced schedule, and they have the buys right at the right time, you know. Right. So that's going to be interesting. There's a lot of talent, man, in the SWAC. Yeah. And Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson, head coaches.
There won't be any shortage of excitement and stories to write, I guarantee you.
Exactly. Chinnisberry, you know, old ball coach, he wants to come back to that Celebration Bowl as well.
To be a fly on the wall in his locker room with those players that he has in this program, I promise you, I probably just I laugh.
Yeah, he look, guys, it's going to be very interesting in both of those conferences. Yep. Not only from the kickoff when they have the MEAC SWAC Challenge all the way through the Celebration Bowl. There's, like you said, there's going to be a lot to write about, a lot to report about, but there's going to be excitement across the board. Congratulations to Jalen Hurts. He became the 4th Black starting quarterback in a Super Bowl to win a Super Bowl. Of course, the first is Doug Williams. Then we had Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes, who has 3 to name a few. All right. And the HBCUs took a center stage at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. I was so proud of my hometown. New Orleans put on one of the best Super Bowl extravaganzas in recent memory, in my opinion. Southern University, their band was there. Grambling also had participated in one of the events as well. So congratulations to all of those guys. Coco Gauff, she's continuing her family legacy in HBCUs. She's donating $100,000 in a scholarship that's going to be administered by the United Negro College Fund in her name. And congratulations to Autumn Lockwood, who is the performance coach over at the Philadelphia Eagles. She's the first Black female coach to ever win a Super Bowl ring. So congratulations to everybody. And Virginia State just had some key staff changes. Dr. Henry Frazier, he's shaking up some things, brought in a offensive-minded young man out of West Virginia State. You know, with the Yellow Jackets over there, they were scoring a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And they shocked some people last year. And bringing in Ramen Lee is going to be very, very important to them to be able to compete with Virginia Union.
Right.
So,
if you know anything about Coach Frazier, if he's bringing in somebody, that lets you know right off the rip that he trusts them and it's going to be good for Virginia State.
He's serious, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. We're going to try to get a couple more of these young guys who are participating in the HBC Legacy Bowl to be able to talk with you guys and get to learn and go out to support them. If you're in Mississippi or Louisiana, if you're around that career fair that's going to be on Thursday and Friday in New Orleans, and you're trying to get a job, go to it. It's free, guys.
Yep. No
free.
excuses.
Free. It's not going to be at the Memorial Convention Center. Is going to be at the Hyatt Regency this year. So go over there. It's free to participate, free to register online. But like I said, I know firsthand, Allstate, the title sponsor, they did make some offers as well as a couple other of the employers that were there. Okay, very important. And I think that's all I have right now, man. So Chinnis Berry, TC Taylor, they go head to head once again as the head coaches with
Coach Alvin
Coach
Parker.
Dr. Alvin Parker and Sam Shade.
Yeah.
Man, you know, that's a cool name. Sam Shade.
he might have some a lot of shade down or up there in Huntsville for some of these other teams next year.
Yeah.
We'll say that conversation.
Shade and Jackson, two coaches to be able to look out for and kind of upset the apple cart, so to speak, in the SWAC this coming season. Guys, keep on watching. Wilt and I will be back as well as the rest of the team. Don't forget to support Wilt. Tell everybody how they can be able to find you on the World Wide Web.
Well, on World Wide Web, you can follow me on Twitter at Wilton Reports, on Instagram at Wilton Reports as well.
Okay. And check us out at HBCU Legends as well as at HBCU Legend on Instagram, just Legend on Instagram, Legends on all other social media platforms. And you can check us out at Black Sports Inc. on X as well. Okay. I'm Kyle T. Mosley. That's Mr. Wilton Jackson, the professor. Wilt, have a great one. Thank you guys for watching. Support us, share this video, and support those young men, Irv and Rob. Take care.